All right, happy Tuesday. Am I excited to share exactly what we are using our virtual assistants for in the social media realm? I will make the joke real fast that I hate social media. It's absolutely true, but I've learned to love it over the last few years as I have my virtual assistants doing it for me. So I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm going to try to keep it super brief. I want to respect your guys' time. I know that the real estate market is absolutely insane right now. Some markets you're getting a gazillion offers. Your buyers are fatiguing. I get it. And I think really at the end of the day, kind of one of the main points I want to bring today is you are in a very special time in real estate. It's one of the times that's one of the greatest wealth opportunities, but it's also one of the biggest opportunities for burnout as well. Never have we been in such a hard market to get a well-qualified buyer under contract, and never have we had an opportunity where our market has stayed as good as it has for as long as it has. So with that being said, we got like 45 to 60 people tuning in from different places. I see we got 13 or 14 watching in some of our groups. So between the 45 to 60 people, I just want to dive right in. I want to make everything today very, very practical for you. So if you guys can hear me, just let me know that you guys can hear me. I'm watching via Facebook Live on my phone just to make sure that I can see everything okay. So feel free, guys, throughout today's webinar. It's only going to be about 15, 20 minutes long, but it's going to be very jam-packed with practical information of exact things. I say that it may end up being 30, 35 minutes. Worst case is turn me off, come back and watch the recording. If you guys got here via an email, you'll get a replay. And then obviously if you're in a Facebook group, you guys can see it there as well. So with that being said, let me know that you guys can hear me real fast. Just drop a little comment and we're going to get rolling. I am going to share my screen and we are going to rock and roll. So what we want to talk about today is purely how do we use virtual assistants to manage our social media. I would not be in the position I am today with a multi-seven-figure company if it wasn't for my virtual assistants doing my social media. I hate social media, but I love it at the same time. And like I talked about, I've learned to love it because my virtual assistants are doing it for me now. So with that being said, a lot of you guys watch these every week, so you know who I am. But if you don't know who I am, quick recap. My name is Justin Nelson, licensed at 19 years old, ran a team with my dad of 15 plus agents, about a $35 million production team at that time. I ended up then going to teach on the road to about 11,000, 10,000 students live. Did that over about 200 brokerages, started a 1,000+ person agent coaching company, and now I own Sphere Rocket VA, which is a virtual assistant placement company for real estate agents. My only objective on today's call is to give you value and get you closer to the needle of getting a virtual assistant, whether that's a day from now or 5 years from now. I want to start changing that mindset. So right now, these numbers are actually wrong. We actually have about 1,100 active virtual assistants across the real estate realm. What is really cool about my job is I get to see these VAs go across all brokerages, EXP, KW, REMAX, independent brokerages, and I'm getting to see the inside look at all the different ways that these companies are using VAs in unique manners, and then kind of getting to make this melting pot of best practices, which is where this webinar is coming from. So whenever we do a webinar like this, or I'm giving some value in terms of what we're using our VAs for, I always want you to remember the $100,000 rule. This is a rule that I live by with my clients that use our VAs. It's the rule I live by in a lot of different facets when it comes to my own VA team that I personally have on my staff. Is if your average commission check, let's say, for example, an average price point is $300,000, that means your average commission check is about $9,000 on average. So my goal in anything I do is to show you a way to open your brain, to open your perception, to get rid of your limiting beliefs, to make you imagine that you could do one more deal a month. Right? We have too many gurus out there that do trainings and they're like, you know what, we're going to make you 7 figures next year and you might only be at 50,000 right now. You might only be at $500,000, right? It's a little bit sometimes unattainable, or sometimes our brain just can't wrap we can't wrap our brain around it because it's such a far off. So my goal is to help you add another deal a month through the strategies that I'm teaching. Because if I can add an extra $110,000 to your life, we all know that is a good thing. And so I want to just dive into the top 10 things that we do with our VAs for social media. They're in no particular order. Obviously, some work better for us than others, but I just wanted to kind of give you a generalized guideline here before we dive into each one specifically of what we're using our VAs for. So the very first thing, and I would say that this one actually is a high priority, is the Facebook personal page messaging. This is one of our highest producing activities of dollars, and we're going to talk about how that applies to you as an agent. The second thing, obviously having a Facebook business page, an Instagram page, LinkedIn messaging, group conversion, which we're going to talk about because a lot of people don't talk about that, private client groups, past client send out cards, YouTube management, video editing, and custom video messages, 5 per day. So this in and of itself could be, you know, a virtual assistant's full-time job that if they did all 10 things extremely well, and honestly, if they only did 2 or 3 things extremely well, and that's all you wanted them to focus on, there is no doubt in my mind, because we've proven it, it can bring an extra deal a month. Because when a VA is doing this, it's not you doing it. Let's just kind of clear the air here. When someone else is doing it, they are going to do it better than you in the long term, right? It might not be your perfect branding tomorrow. It may not be perfect the first time, but unless you want to do that forever, unless you want to always be taking calls on vacation, unless you always want to be up till 10 p.m. at night after you just finished a rush dinner with your family, you have to learn to leverage, right? If you don't want to learn to leverage, I am going to highly suggest you jump off the call, right? And I'm not saying you need a VA. I'm just saying you have to be in the mindset of leverage, or, you know, this training's not going to apply to you, because I want to teach this to you on how you can get somebody else to do this for you and not you to do it for you. I know when I was a real estate agent, the number one problem I had in real estate wasn't a lack of effort or motivation. It was usually that I was trying to learn too many things and implement too many things at the same time. I know that what I did in nearly $400,000 in income in the first 16 months could have been $800,000, $1 million at 19 years old if I wouldn't have sprayed my vision across so many things. And so I challenge you to think about these things today that I'm going to teach you in a way that someone else can do them for you, and not so much that I am going to do them myself. So if you guys are watching this right now and you guys want a copy of our written breakdown of how to do all of these things and not just the video, just comment me. If you comment me, no matter where you're watching, if it's my personal page, YouTube, if you're in our Virtual Assistants free Facebook group, just comment the word me, and I will make sure to get you guys a copy of this. I think we had yesterday like 300 people comment me that they want a copy. If you were one of those people, I will make sure to get you a copy after today's call. We just wanted to wait until that goes. So a lot of people know, what is my life mission? Show you the power of leverage, show you that everything I'm about to show you can be done for $3 to $6 per hour via a VA. And then of course, my heart's desire is to help you scale. And my end goal as a business, because I always like to be transparent about that, is to give 2,000 VAs jobs a year via real estate agents. So the number one thing I want to discuss here is Facebook personal and messaging. So these are the 6 things that we have our VAs do on a daily basis. So number one, it is 20 cold messages per day. I want you to look at your Facebook personal page as a CRM. If someone is a friend on your personal page, you either know them, you like them, or they're a friend for some reason. If they're not one of those things, get rid of them, right? Now, obviously, there are some factors of where strangers do make sense, but for a majority of you, these are people that know, like, and trust you, or acquaintances, or might recognize you. There is no problem sending them 20 cold messages per day. So if I have a database of 5,000 in Facebook, I'm taking 20 per day and I'm sending some type of cold message. It could be a, hey, how are you? Hey, I haven't talked to you in a long time. And it's honestly, whatever you want to say to people, just say something, right? Get engaged in conversation, because when we do that, now we're having 400 to 500 additional conversations each and every month. Now, where those conversations go, they don't have to go anywhere business, right? If the person doesn't know you that well, they're going to look at your page, see what you're about. They're going to learn you're in real estate. If someone knows you well, you might have some conversations about how is your job, and the VA can take over this, right? The point of the VA in this is to figure out who those 20 people are, send the introductory message, and then at some point you'll usually take back over that message. That by far is one of our biggest money makers, because you don't know how many times we get a VA to message someone and they're like, oh shit, Justin, I actually meant to talk to you anyways. Thanks for messaging me, man. Right? Just the rule of numbers, you're going to get those people that are like, hey, by the way, I need to list my home with you in 3 months. It's just numbers, right? Don't doubt the numbers. We've seen it over and over and over again. Next thing, pretty straightforward. Your VA can make one Facebook post per day for you, right? Could be personal related, it could be business related, it could be a little bit of both, but one Facebook post per day. One thing I always tell my employers that are using our VAs, whenever you're going throughout your day, snap a few pictures of this, snap a picture of your Starbucks, snap a picture of you doing a showing, just put it in a file, and your VA can be creative and make a Facebook post around that with your help, or at least get it all organized, edited, cleaned, and now you got one post going out per day. We all are guilty of sometimes going 3, 4, 5 days without posting something. You find that those that make the most money on real estate social media, it's just they're consistent, right? Yeah, content matters, but not if you're not consistent, right? We gotta be consistent, then we can upgrade what our content is. I then have my VAs, and this is kind of on the low end. We're probably near 100 on this. They go through my Facebook profile and they like 100 posts, right? 100 posts, they comment on 100 posts as if they're me. They know my language. They've learned me over time. Again, it's not perfect in the beginning, but you're never gonna get there if you don't start somewhere. Then my VAs are gonna go through, they're usually gonna find 10 situations on Facebook where they feel like that person deserves a send out card, and then they'll write a handwritten note. Could be condolences for a death, it could be a birthday, could be a past client anniversary. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then they're adding between 20 to 30 new friends a day. Usually that revolves around adding people in your local area. For example, I just had my VAs go and add the Chamber of Commerce here in Nashville. I said, I need to start throwing some events here in Nashville. I need to know the top 100 people that would be able to help me with an event. Go friend all of these people, right? So even though they're strangers, there's still intentionality behind it. I'm growing people that know, like, and trust me. Because my VAs are making one Facebook post a day, now when they add these 20 to 30 people, we start to see this cycle of I'm not doing anything other than snapping a picture, and yet people are already starting to recognize me and know me based on a certain criteria. So number 2 is Facebook business page management. Guys, people hire companies for $500 to $1,000 a month to run their business page. Guys, no one searches your business page and goes, wow, I'm using that agent. The Facebook business pages today are meant for 2 reasons. Number 1, a validation check. So if they heard about you or they're getting marketing from you, they might search you up on Facebook. It's good to have that, right? It's good to have a good looking page that has content on it, but it shouldn't be used as like this thing you pour an hour into a blog. No one's going to read it unless you run an ad on it, and that's a whole different conversation. And obviously when we run Facebook ads, if you're running Facebook leads, different things like that, that's another conversation as well. But if you have a good business page that's getting one good solid post per day from your VA, that's an amazing opportunity. I'm a little spoiled. I've placed 1,100 plus VAs in the last 16 months with real estate agents across the country. All 1,100 of those VAs talk with each other in chat rooms. So they all share ideas. Where they even come up with the content and different things like that, it's beyond me now. They just have built this collaboration group within SphereRocket to be able to do that. But if you had an assistant that didn't have the connection, or you didn't get a VA through SphereRocket, obviously it's relatively easy for your VA to go out and find other business pages that are doing well and duplicate it with very little of your input. The key here is the consistency is going to be there because they're working every single day for you, day in and day out, and that's their job, right? They don't have to worry about showings and these things. They're concentrated and they're making sure that they're helping you with their one goal of giving you time to go get that one deal in a month, or doing things in this case that will help you get that one deal a month. Number 3, Instagram management. Again, do not overthink it. If you are a rock star at Instagram right now, yes. If you go hire a VA, let's hire you a VA that's got Instagram expertise because you already have a great following. But if you're like me and you didn't have a great following, it was all just shambles, and just getting a VA to post one time per day and follow 30 to 40 new people per day, I saw my Instagram go from 0 to over 12,000 followers in under a month or 2. Right? Just by doing this, because my VAs were following people, then they were following me back, and then I would unfollow them. There's, if they're making one post a day, which many times is the same post as I put on Facebook, because our audience on Instagram is a lot of times different than our audience on Facebook. So I can use the same content and they don't even realize it, right? Some do, but a lot don't, because most of you guys would be able to say to yourself, you're either an Instagram person or a Facebook person. It's rare that you get on both a whole lot. I do, but it's not the norm throughout your client base, right? You're an agent that's different than your client bases, which is who you care about. Number 4, LinkedIn messaging. I usually send about 30 new request messages a day. I am telling my VAs I want to be connected with this person in the future. And so a lot of these are great for future pacing. It's future business, right? If you wanted to be friends with all the firefighters in your area because you have a heart for firefighters, you damn right better be having someone connect with LinkedIn on all the firefighters in your neck of the woods. In Nashville, if I was going to go after a veteran campaign, I better know every veteran community owner in here, and I better be requesting them on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Again, it's letting me get into these people's circles slowly but surely without them even realizing it through something as innocent as a LinkedIn request. Then my VAs are making 1 new post per day. These are fantastic when I'm going into meetings. People look me up. They're like, man, he's active on here. He's got a well-rounded advertising experience. And then same thing, my VAs are doing between 30 and 100 likes a day on other people's LinkedIn posts, 30 comments a day, and then usually about 30 messages a day as well. Now we move into a little bit of group conversion and watching. Most of you guys know that here's an example of a real estate agent referral group on Facebook. There's over like 180 of those. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but we have our virtual assistants go in, join all these groups. Obviously, they're logged into my Facebook account. They go and join all these groups, and then all they do all day is they check in periodically throughout their newsfeed to see if any of these groups are posting referrals in their area, right? Imagine you have someone just watching these referral groups on their breaks and in between their other jobs. They got a split screen. How are you not getting 5 to 6 more deals a year from it, right? If you guys ever wonder, like, why does so-and-so always win other than them just being tagged a lot? Many times it's because the virtual assistant has been so fast at getting that information to them that's why they're winning. It's actually because they're busy agents, right? They're doing showings and different things just like you are. They just have staff that are watching these things because those are high dollar activities, right? Getting a referral is high dollar activity. So another thing our VAs do is watch these groups for referrals. Number 6, our VAs run our private client group. So I gave you guys an example of our Sphere Rocket group here. Obviously, these are a lot of my clients that use our virtual assistants. As you guys can see, there's only 420 members in there. Not everybody's going to join the group. They're not all going to follow instructions. They're not all going to want to be in there. But with that being said, the same thing goes for your real estate business. You need to have a group that is full of your past clients, whether it's 1 or whether it's 2,000. This is a group where your VA can manage it, and post events that are upcoming. Every time you get a referral from someone, you should be posting that in the group. Hey, Bob, thanks for the referral, because now that post is going to 30, 40, 50, 60 other people. You got 1,000 clients, even better, that are seeing that other people are referring you. Human psychology, just shows that people automatically go, oh, wow, Sarah gave a referral. Sarah gave a referral. John gave her. Man, wow, he must not like me as much because I'm not giving referrals. And so it's just a way for us to convince our clients to send us referrals without actually ever saying anything to them. If you like to do Facebook Lives, having a Facebook group helps because you can go live inside of that Facebook group, talk directly to your past client audience in a raw format and not be worried about it going to the general public. So you can make that message much more touching, much more engaging with that audience. You can put market updates in there. If any of your vendors do special VIP discounts, you can throw those in there. Just a place for you guys to throw a ton of value in there. And our VAs manage this. They make sure new things are getting posted. In the real estate realm, a lot of our VAs will go in there and post events for the weekend. So if you're super niche down into a market, the VAs on Fridays will usually go in and grab something or two off the internet that's happening in that town, post it in there, because sometimes people like me, I don't look at things. I don't know when that concert's in town, and if I knew, I would have gone, but I didn't look it up. And so it's a great value add. It might seem really small, but you build a group of 400, 500, 1,000 people over time that all are just centered around you, right? The cover photo that you guys see on the screen on the group is labeled with your information. Again, we're building that omnipresent look to where you're always around your clients, even when they don't know it. So building a group, guys, it's so simple. How many groups are you in, and why do you not have a group for your business? I say that a little bit questioning you. I was there. This is something I've learned in the past 2 years, and it's been one of the biggest changes to my business because it builds this community of however you want it to be built. A lot of us use these groups for business and don't even think about putting our past clients on there, guys. That is our business. So number 7, and this isn't as much social media, but we use social media to enhance this, is my VAs are attached to do 30 to 40 cards per day. Now, I say my VAs, I have 2 social media managers now. Really, this could all still be done for you with 1. But our VAs are meant to go on social media and do 30 to 40 cards per day, right? And these cards could be going out to people that are currently in a transaction with you. It could be asking for referrals from those people. It could be what we mentioned earlier, scrolling through Facebook, finding all these different people on Facebook that have things going on in their life, looking them up in public records, finding their address, sending them a card on your behalf. Guys, if you do that consistently to hundreds and thousands of people, you absolutely will grow your business in a way you've never seen happen before. That doesn't even count home anniversaries, personal anniversaries, birthdays, congratulations, condolences, and we do this all with the Send Out Cards Unlimited package. You get unlimited number of cards, unlimited postage, unlimited everything for $99 a month. You could literally, like we did, send out like 1,300 cards one month for $99. Guys, that's like literally $800-900 worth of cards we sent out for $99. So if you guys have never heard of the Send Out Cards Unlimited package, just let us know. I can get you a link to it. I don't even participate in Send Out Cards like multi-level marketing peer. I don't do any of that, but I still highly recommend them because of what they can do and how many cards your VA can send out for you. Next thing, my VAs do YouTube management. Now, I will be honest, I do have my own virtual assistant that just does YouTube now. They just do editing. It used to be my social media person, but over time, your business is going to grow that you need to split those roles up. So this is a role that I recommend splitting up because video editing is a little bit tougher. If you absolutely need it in the same person, we could do it. But I just kind of put that caveat in there. And maybe you're someone that doesn't need everything else I said. You just want a better video presence. A video editor is the best decision I've ever had in my business by far. I have 5 of them now. That's how good of a decision it was, even just what one could do. So the VAs go in there. My whole goal with YouTube management is I want to spend no more than about 15 minutes a day recording videos. You guys will see here, I'm putting out a video about every single day. And I'm not spending more than about 15 to 20 minutes doing that, right? I'm sitting in front of my camera. I'm getting a tripod set up. Might even have someone shoot it for me. I'm doing that 15 to 20 minutes, and then it's off to my VA. After that, I don't even review it. I don't do anything because I know if I do that, I'll procrastinate. I'll revise it. I'll say delete it. I literally do it, and then they take care of the rest. The thumbnails, the cover photos, the captions, the tags, the channel promotion, and then they use all these fancy tools that are like $1 or $2 a month, vidIQ, TubeBuddy, to optimize them to make sure that they're being shown. Now, before we keep going, I want to remind people everything I am talking about right here and that you're seeing being done is being done for $3, $4, $5, $6 an hour. This isn't being done by the high school kid you are paying $20 an hour that has 0 experience. These virtual assistants for $3, $4, $5, $6 an hour are doing all of this from start to finish with very little involvement from me. And so when you guys start to do the math there, you'll start to realize where this makes sense. So kind of on the same thing, a lot of times our video editors, if you had a VA that was doing a lot of video editing, they could take it a step further and they could size that video for Facebook, Instagram, TikToks, YouTubes, weekly Facebook live streams. You guys saw I did a little bit of a live stream here. I had a countdown, an intro. You guys will see an outro when I end it. Those are all things that are being done by my VAs. You guys don't even realize it, but my computer right now is being controlled by a VA. If I said, hey, I need you to do this with my hands up, they could control my entire computer because they're watching me and obviously being able to assist me. So there's some really cool things you can do if you're really a geek into video editing that we teach people how to use their VAs for when it comes to that. The last thing that we do with our VAs is 5 custom video messages per day. I literally get on Zoom every morning. I start up my Zoom account. I click record. I make sure it's just me on the screen, and I send 5 past clients a daily message that welcomes them. I go, hey, just wanted to say thank you so much and for being welcomed into our program. Absolutely love that you're a part of this. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you, or if it's a past client from forever. I do that, get it to my video team, and then they either deliver it raw if I'm doing raw, or if I want to get really fancy, they can edit it and do things like that. For the most part though, I just sit there on one Zoom. I speak to 5 different people. Then the VA team goes in and edits it all out, cuts it all out. 5 of those messages are going out a year. Just imagine 200 working days a year, 5 messages, 1,000 custom video messages where you spent less than a minute or two. How would that impact your brand, your awareness of people in your market from them getting those custom messages? Because when that message is cut, we actually go right into Facebook. Your VA logs into your Facebook as if they're you, sends it off, not through YouTube links or anything like that. They send it directly through Facebook, and the person never even knows that it wasn't you. This is what amazes people, because they're like, man, how did he have time for that? Guys, that's exactly it. It's using leverage of other people to be able to scale this. So with that being said, make sure you comment me if you want a PDF folder of that checklist with a little bit more detail so you guys can see. It's got some links in there, some things like that. If you comment me, Gabe, Will, Nadia, Ite will all go in and do it for you. Any of our team members will. They'll give it to you. They'll send you a message. Make sure to check your message request box if you're not friends with our group moderators or group experts, as we call them. It will go to your spam box, so make sure to check that. So if we were to recap, if you had a VA do all of those things for you, at let's just say $4 an hour, which is about $7,200 a year, I think that we all are on the same page here. We should be able to do 12 more deals next year, right? If your price point is less, let's say your price point's $150,000 and your average commission check's only $4,500, even if you did $54,000 worth of commission next year via a virtual assistant, you're still about 5 times ROI versus 10 times here, right? Now, let's be very clear. When you get a VA, not all the tasks you're going to have them do are you going to be able to track and result back to them doing it, right? Someone calls you for a listing, it could be a mix of they got a few send out cards, they saw your Facebook post. So not everything's trackable, but right? Your business is going to grow and it's being done through principles, right? If you have your VAs doing things that aren't proven, well then, yeah, we don't know if it's actually going to work. But if you're following methods and the touch campaigns and you're implementing things that are rule of thumbs that have been proven over the last 30, 40, 50 years of real estate, we all know what happens in the end here. And it's why almost 1,100 people have come to us wanting VAs, is because they see their friends having great success with it. And so with that being said, as always, if you guys ever need to go and get a virtual assistant, you guys can go to sphererocketva.com. Just make sure you use the coupon code Facebook group. That will make sure to give you guys a discount for being inside of our Facebook groups. If you guys ever want to chat with me and our team about what getting a VA looks like, whether you do 1 deal a year or 100 deals a year, doesn't really matter whether you want a VA yesterday, today, tomorrow, or 5 years from now. These calls are really just meant to walk you through how we do what we do, how we train you, how we train the VAs, how we make sure you get a good VA, and then ultimately how you can use our playbooks of hundreds and hundreds of pages to be able to implement things without having to create all of this for yourself. So with that being said, I'm going to turn back over to my phone for just a minute to see if anybody on here, I think we got nearly 70 people watching here. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me see, I got a few questions. I got a lot of me's. Someone said, love using my VA for video editing. Time to take it to the next level for my YouTube channel. Love that. Double down on YouTube. It's the biggest thing. Someone said, your VAs are all trained to carry out real estate tasks as we would want them to. We don't have to spend time training them. So this question, and I don't want to call it I don't want to call it stupid because it's not stupid at all, but I hate that question from the standpoint of it's not your fault that you're asking that. I would ask the exact same thing, and it's something I've asked myself. The industry as a whole has somehow molded our brains to think that any company, right, whether it's Sphere Rocket, My Outdesk, Virtue Desk, Cyberbacker, which are all great VA companies as well, the messaging in the market has been so cutthroat that people have said, well, I can train them on this and that, and they're going to come to you knowing everything. It's false, right? The way that you do your business could go a million different ways. If you want me to train your VA on how to do lead generation, I don't even know what that means, right? I have no clue, because the way that you lead generate, even if you told me you wanted more referrals, that is drastically different for everybody. And so what you're looking for is you're looking for a company or a VA in general, and this goes for anyone you interview, is you want to look for someone that gives you a VA with relevant past experience, right? Good quality English skills, got the background for the job, not necessarily that they've been in real estate. That's the number one mistake people make. They want to go hire someone that says on their resume they used to work for a real estate agent. That means nothing. You want to look for someone where the VA's got the corporate experience that they need to within your field or a field similar. So when it comes to social media, doesn't have to be real estate. And then you want to be able to lean into a program to help you train them, right? And so it's kind of what we call a co-training model. You go, Justin, I need a VA that can do some Instagram. Cool. That VA knows how to do Instagram. They might not know how to clip a YouTube video, right? And how would I know to do that? Is it would be from direction of you. So to answer your question, no. Do they come trained in all things real estate? No, that's too broad. Did you come trained in all things real estate? Most likely not. And that I don't say that to sound condescending. I just say that to challenge what the market has put out there. So if you don't have time to train, highly don't recommend even getting an assistant at any level. Even if a company guarantees you they come trained, I guarantee you they won't know everything. Do they know a lot? Absolutely. Now, should that VA also be able to go out and use training manuals that are provided by companies like ours on their first, second, third day and find it out from you? What are the 10 top things, Mr. or Mr. Business Owner, that you need done? Cool. Justin's got a training library of 100 different things. Now that I know what you need, I'm going to go and get that skill set. I'm going to work with the other 1,100 VAs to perfect that thing. So to answer your question, yes and no. The biggest reason why people fail at this, and I love that you just said that, is, and let's go over this answer. I like that answer. I've hired a VA before and spent more time trying to train them than it took that if I had done the task myself. I obviously hired a general VA who wasn't the right one. You're absolutely right. And I actually got off a coaching call about 30 minutes ago, and we were talking about the same thing, right? In the beginning, yes, it's going to take your VA more time to get trained, and then it could be for you to do the task. However, my coach always says, Justin, are you going to use that excuse forever to never give anybody a chance to give you leverage? Because my coach always said, Justin, you're not giving people a fair chance, because of course you do it the best. You've been doing it the longest. You're doing it your way. It's in your brain. But what we have to do, and I agree with you, there are some bad VA hires. It happens. And I would never say that we're perfect 100% of the time, but there's obviously a time where you have to know that there's a little bit of a lag time, right? And as long as you're within a good lag time, it shouldn't take you 3 months for your VA to figure out how to do a task and not be faster than you. You're absolutely right. So absolutely love your comment on that. Later on, when I actually see who you are, I'll shoot you a message and I can give you some advice on that as well. It just says Facebook user for now. Someone says they love their VAs through us. I absolutely love that you love that. But I would love to know, does anybody have any questions for me? We're actually up to nearly 75 people watching on different platforms. 30 of you guys are in some of our live Facebook group rooms. What questions do you guys have about anything VAs? If you're just jumping on, you're like, man, what the hell did I miss? You'll get a replay. Go back, pause this, watch the replay, and we're more than happy to do a replay for you. Jake, hope all is well with you, man. I know you got quite the VA team assembled now. I'd love to see that. I've been kind of watching what you guys have been up to. Love that you guys are rocking and rolling with that. It makes me happy. Love to see your success, man. What else? Anybody else got any questions around virtual assistants? It could even be non-social media. I'm going to leave about 4 or 5 more minutes open here. I'll just awkwardly stare at the camera and see if anybody's got any questions. But just a reminder, if you guys want a copy of the PDF that goes over all these different tasks, just comment the word "me" and I will make sure to get those over to you. So really appreciate it. Alexander, I saw that it was you, man, that had that question. Appreciate the question. It was a fantastic question. Awesome. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Paul. Thanks for watching in. Appreciate you guys. With that being said, I don't have anything else for you guys. Any questions? Remind me what your question was. If you, oh, yes. Can you use this for Canada? Absolutely. We actually have a ton of VAs out in Canada as well. A lot on the investment side, video editing side, and general executive admin side. So if that was your question, I apologize for skipping over that. Can you use this for Canada? Someone says, what video editor do you use? I obviously use a VA to do video editing. Some of my people have iMovie. Most of them have Adobe Premiere Pro. If you're looking for a video editor, we have the VAs make sure they have the proper equipment before they're ever actually looking up at you. Someone sent me hearts. Thank you for the hearts. I have no clue who you are until later, until I look at the transcript, but appreciate that. Someone said, I've had a VA for a while now and I'm not using their skills. Remind me about the training that is already done and available for them. So this is probably someone within our program that, you know, is not using them as well as they probably like to. Two things. We have a 200-page VA Bible that all of our paying members get access to. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. On Monday and Tuesdays, I do live Q&As where we basically come in and say, Justin, this is where I would like to use my VA for. Use me up. I help you design it all. I help you design the program. Those are Monday and Tuesdays. And then all of our VAs have calls on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, coaching calls, some on social media, some on transaction coordination. So to answer your question, it really is up to you. You tell us what they need to have training on and we'll go create it if they haven't been through it already. The cool thing is about hiring 1,100 VAs so far. We've seen everything. People have requested everything from me. If I don't have it in my library, I'd be shocked. But if I don't, I'll go out and create that training. So it's kind of up to you. Hey, Scott, I know Scott just jumped on our program yesterday, either today, maybe even got himself a virtual assistant. Scott, I love this question because it's not really a question of how long does it take to get him into production. That's actually just a mindset thing for you. If you're saying, it depends on what your definition of production is. Some agents think production is, I have 40 tasks in my mind, 20 tasks that I'm already doing that I want to give off, and 20 tasks that I'm not doing that I want my VA to combine for 40 tasks. My VA is not in production until they know how to do all of those things. Well, here's the thing. The VA is not going to know how to do all those things for a little while, right? Because you're going to have to train them on some stuff. We're going to have to train them on some stuff. And so I always tell people, change your mindset around production and change it more into how long is it until I feel a positive effect of what my VA is doing for me. So let me give you an example, Scott. If you brought on a VA and you said one of the tasks that they need to do is to increase the quality of your CRM, you know, I would say that they're in production day one, that they're starting to go in and look up email addresses and do data scraping and finding phone numbers and, you know, making sure it's all the correct info. And, you know, I say that's production day one. It's moving your business in the way forward. Now, what we want to look at in the long term is what are those VA's daily tasks, right? We differentiate projects from daily tasks. So when you're first starting with your VA, you know, if you got 40 tasks in mind, let's start the first week or two with 5 to 10 of them. They're simple tasks that can get done. They give you time back, or they're tasks that maybe don't give you time back, but they increase your business because they're things that you weren't doing. So if our VA is focusing on those 5 to 10 things for the first 2 weeks, they're crushing it. It's helping your business. And then maybe on the side, they're also working on a project like a CRM cleanup or, you know, some type of list scraping, or maybe it's just like making Facebook posts, social media posts, getting ahead of the game on that, right? Scheduling them out 30, 60, 90 days so you guys don't have to worry about that again. That would probably be the biggest thing. So someone said today is day 2 for my VA and she's already making a huge difference. Love to hear that. I can't wait to see where we are in 3 months. I'll have to see who you are just as Facebook user, but absolutely love that you asked that. So back to your question, Scott. Usually if it's within 30 to 60 days, I want to see my VA have taken 10 to 15 things off of my plate that I'm doing habitually to save me time. And then I want to see them have taken 10 to 15 things off my plate, much of like we ran through in the social media things that they're doing on a daily basis that I know are moving the needle forward in my business. Now, I say all of this, that it's different for everybody. If you're hiring an ISA versus a transaction coordinator versus a social media manager, and I know some of those sometimes blend into each other, that's kind of a generalized question. Obviously an ISA, what's production, right? Appointments, is it closings, is it 6-month delay, so there's a little bit of vagueness to that answer that I'll have to provide. But great question. It's more about when do you feel immediate impact rather than when are they into production as much. So great question. Any other questions? Anybody else got anything else? I'll scroll a banner across the bottom real fast again. That is a list, our website. If you guys need to go and talk to our team about getting a virtual assistant, definitely go and check that out. Would love you to chat with our team. You'll be talking to Kale, Matt, Josh, Rob, Jay, Daniel. We have a whole team over there, happy to help. They're all super experienced in this realm. So, they're not only just going to talk to you about what we do, but help you strategize, right? You don't know what you don't know. You maybe never had a VA before. You don't know where a VA could be good in your business, right? But you just know that you need help. That's what their job is, to help identify what you need help in and kind of give you that game plan. So with that being said, my 20-minute call ended up being 45 minutes, and I love that because anybody can jump off and watch a recording as needed. But love you guys, appreciate you. If you guys ever want to watch a recording of this as well and you can't find them all, go to YouTube. You go to YouTube and search Justin Nelson Sphere Rocket. You will find me. All of these recordings stream there. That's the easiest way to find them. If you're obviously in our Facebook groups, anything like that, you can also find them relatively easily. So with that being said, guys, we are going to log out here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And with that being said, we will see you next week at Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central.